Coming up on Mountain News this morning, several Eastern Kentucky high schools are recognized for their efforts to get students ready for the next step in their education. And a well-known musician here in our region prepares for a special winter concert to bring in the new year.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Hey, 6:32 on the dot here. I'm Dakota Makris. I can't believe it's already 6:30. My goodness gracious. We're just having fun over here. Speaking of fun, let's take it over to Brandon where all the fun is happening with all the fog this morning over in the Weather Center.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd call fog fun. And then, of course, we're keeping an eye on some activity. But, of course, a nice day after the fog today. So we'll take that. I guess that will be fun.
That is fun.
That's exactly right. So let's see what's going on out there this morning. And we'll take a look at Pikeville. US 119, US 23 near Pikeville Commons. Fogged in this morning. 48 over there, one of the warmer spots in the region. 49 is the warmest spot in the region in Prestonsburg. 47 there in Jackson. And we'll go into the 30s. Clintwood, Wise, and Jonesville, all at 39, low to mid 40s across the rest of the region. Planner for today, well, it's not going to be too active out there. We're going to see temperatures climbing to the mid 60s this afternoon. 66 the official forecast high. Sunny but cooler as we head deeper into the day. Dakota?
All right, Brandon, thank you. A Kentucky school shooter will stay in prison the rest of his life. Survivors are now sharing their relief after the parole board's decision. Grayson Passmore shows us why some say they finally feel like they're getting justice.
It is the decision of the parole board today to allow you to serve out the remainder of your sentence. Thank you, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Carneal attended his hearing via Zoom from the Kentucky State Reformatory. He quickly left after hearing he would serve out his life sentence from prison, while victims' families and some shooting survivors in attendance embraced each other.
There are 3 girls that didn't have a life. You know, everybody affected in this were dealing with the consequences of his actions with no parole for the rest of their lives.
In 1997, then 14-year-old Carneal opened fire in Heath High School, just outside of Paducah. Carneal killed 3 of his classmates, Jessica James, Casey Steiger, and Nicole Hadley. Missy Jenkins Smith has spent the past 2 decades sharing her story. After she was left paralyzed and confined to a wheelchair in that shooting, she finally feels like the community has gotten some sort of justice.
Shootings, unfortunately, is something that we have seen is unfortunately become common. That's very scary. So I feel like, you know, this visual will show others that this is what violence can create. This is what, you know, a school shooting can do.
Assistant McCracken County Commonwealth's attorney Jamie Mills says the decision wasn't a shock to him. Last week, Carneal spoke at a parole board hearing. He admitted he still hears voices, like the ones that told him to steal a neighbor's pistol and fire it into the crowded lobby of his school.
I think after he testified, it was, I think most anybody would be skeptical about his remorse about what he did and also his plan going forward to try to be successful.
That was Grayson Passmore reporting. Carneal did tell board members he would live at home and continue his mental health treatments. The board denied his parole in a 7-0 vote. He will serve out his life sentence in prison. A Letcher County woman was arrested this month in Hazard and is receiving additional charges after police say she tried to sneak in multiple substances in jail with her. 43-year-old Jennifer Hill was arrested after a call was received that a man and woman were asked to leave the Daniel Boone Motel and stayed on the property. Well, they were found later walking on Highway 15 in front of the Hilltop Liquor Store, where she was arrested and searched upon entering the jail.
The police actually ask them before they bring them in, if you have anything, hand it over now. Some of them will, some of them won't. But once they get in here and we find it, then we'll confiscate it and hand it over to the law enforcement if they want it.
Hill received 3 additional counts for possession of controlled substance. 2 Florida hikers were rescued by Wolfe County search crews. The call came in about 5:30 Sunday evening. The hikers were lost near Redbird Arch. Now, that's an unofficial trail. Crews say they think the duo missed their turn while heading back to their car. They were able to call for help before both of their phones died. Rescue crews encourage folks to bring a backup battery if your phone is your only source of navigation. Well, the city of Pikeville announced a new chief of the Pikeville Fire Department yesterday. At Monday's Pikeville City Commission meeting, Lieutenant Johnny Lee Cole is now the department's new chief. He has been with the department for 14 years and was a 911 dispatcher for the city for 6 years before that. His first day as chief will be this Saturday, October 1st. Many schools in eastern Kentucky are getting some attention, recognized in a list of high schools in the nation most successful when it comes to college readiness and retention. Our buddy Forbes talked with the superintendents from 2 districts about that honor.
Success starts somewhere.
Attendance, grades, what opportunities we have, all of that starts when we enroll them in this school district.
And for at least 11 eastern Kentucky schools, it leads to National College Success Awards.
With whatever their dream is, we're just here to make that happen.
More than 40 schools across the Commonwealth were recognized for their educational efforts by greatschools.org.
Having students in a setting where they realize we're going to be serious about educating them and working hard toward meeting their goals, but then also in a setting where they're going to enjoy and have experiences that they can take with them as they move forward in life.
With Pikeville High School and Betsy Lane High School among the 4 schools honored in the Big Sandy for preparing kids for post-secondary education.
To help them to understand what success looks like, to help them understand that it looks different for every kid, and to not only engage, but to embrace the opportunity to help mentor kids along that.
While fueling them to be persistent in their pursuits.
You don't just spoon feed education to kids, you help to engage kids and help them to become problem solvers and individualized thinkers.
Something local educators say is all about passion.
That child will not only enter as a freshman in college, but will return that second year as a sophomore and that 3rd year and 4th year and so on.
And the power of people working together. Buddy Forbes, WYMT Mountain News.
Paintsville and Johnson Central are the 2 other schools in the Big Sandy to receive the honors. We have a list of all the recognized schools over on our website. Well, speaking of success, Noah Thompson is set to sing into the new year over in Pikeville. The Eastern Kentucky native and American Idol winner will join Tennessee native Chase Matthews at the stage at the Appalachian Wireless Arena on December 31st. Tickets for the concert will go on sale this Friday at 10 a.m. at the Community Trust Bank box office and online at Ticketmaster.com. At a weekend wedding, a Southern Kentucky minister gave the term falling in love a different meaning. Jason Coulter had everything he was going to say at Josh and Whitney Carmichael's wedding, outdoor wedding planned and written down. As the bride-to-be was being escorted down to the dock, Coulter tried to get his notes. As he attempted to grab them, he fell into the water. The video of his fall has thousands of views, but thankfully, Coulter says he and his pride wasn't hurt. He is also glad to make the service more memorable for the bride and groom.
I think everybody kind of looks to something special at wedding occasions and I think that just kind of, at the time, it was like chaotic, but after it was over, it was like, this is a good thing.
Well, the bride, Whitney, says this helped break the ice of a very nervous moment for she and her husband.
Well, the forecast this morning kind of icy out there in some spots, so not breaking much ice out there this morning. No ice to be broken. 39 in Clintwood, though, 37 in Jonesville, back to 41 in Wise, 49 in Prestonsburg, so a lot of 40s out there. Hey, Jacksonboro is joining the 39-degree club down in Campbell County, so welcome to them. All right, we have one go back up, and then we trade one to go back down, so that's the way it works over that way. Some coffee this morning. Grab yourself quite a bit if you need it there, of course, a little extra because it's a little chilly outside this morning. We're seeing 30s and 40s, heading up into the mid-60s this afternoon with some sunshine. Overall, though, a cooler day across the mountains. Dakota?
All right, Brendan, thank you. It's 6:40. Coming up here on Mountain News this morning, there might soon be a tool in fighting off COVID-19 infections in children if the FDA gives the green light. Stay with us.